Hi guys, welcome to HOB TV. This is episode 10. We want to first start off by thanking those again for that are tuning in, that are subscribing, that are commenting. Thank you guys for watching. And today we got a special episode with our first boxing guest, our first boxer guest on the show. I'll pass it over to my boy Steve. Give him an introduction.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're very excited for episode 10. We're excited for the new House of Boxing hoodies, first
There we
of all.
go, yeah.
But even more so, we're more excited to have our guest here with us. Now, our guest tonight, sitting on my left, he first caught my attention a decade ago while fighting in an amateur tournament at nearby Sweetwater High School. From there, he'd go on to amass 150 amateur fights before turning pro in September of 2016. And he's been on a tear ever since, collecting a record of 4-0 with 3 big KOs. In addition, he boasts an impressive resume of sparring partners, including helping Canelo Alvarez prepare for his 2015 world title bout against Miguel Cotto. All this while also getting a degree in economics from San Diego State University last year. You could catch him on Friday, April 12th, where he'll be fighting at the Grand Tijuana Hotel. Here to tell us all about it is the fundamentally sound Elias Diaz.
Thank you, Steve and David. I'm happy to be here, happy to be part of the show. I see a couple of guys' episodes, and it's going pretty well,
Yeah, we're excited.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So, we're going to start off. We want to start off the show by asking the question on how you got started. Take us to the beginning, where it all started, and how you got involved in boxing.
Yeah, I started since I was like 6-7 years old, so it's and I'm 25 now, so it's been a long time. And it's been a huge part of my family. My dad, some aunts and uncles, my brothers, my 2 older brothers. Yeah. They've all done it. So it's definitely a big part of my family, something I've done my whole life, and part of who I am, I guess, for sure.
Yeah, of course.
Elias, first, congrats on scoring a sponsorship from Alcohol Brewery Creative Creature. Shout out to Creative Creature for getting in the boxing game. But let's talk about your last fight. Your last fight in August of last year was supposed to be considered a step-up fight. You were facing an undefeated opponent, yet you made easy work of him, winning by TKO in the first round. Give us your thoughts on that fight. How do you rate your performance? And what could we expect to see on April 12th?
Right. First off, I definitely appreciate the support from Creative Creatures. If you're ever in El Cajon, go to that brewery. It's a nice place.
Good stuff.
But for my last fight, it was definitely a step-up fight, an undefeated fighter. My father was definitely super worried. He's always the nervous one in the ring, so I have to calm him down. He doesn't calm me down. But it was a step-up fight, and it was over in a minute, I think, just about. Basically, I just kept my composure, made sure I was listening to my coach. He's taught me well, definitely all the fundamentals, so it was easy work.
Nice. Now, what if you had to compare your style to a boxer? What kind of style can you talk to us a little bit about your style, and maybe who can it compare to?
Yeah, definitely my father has been my coach, since I was little, and he's always, super hard on technical stuff.
Yeah.
Strong jab, keep your hands up side to side. So, I wouldn't compare myself to any fighter. I'm my own fighter for sure. Yeah. But I stick to the fundamentals, strong jab, look for counters. And I think, the biggest thing my father's ever told me, just, punch and don't get punched, basically. So you got to be in there, slip of punches, land counters for sure.
Now, we spoke of your father. I'm a little familiar with him. But like as you mentioned, he's big on fundamentals, and just from watching you, like I said, for a decade, right. If I had to compare you to a style, not the actual fighter, the style, I would say Mikey Garcia. He's big on the basics.
Big compliment there.
Yeah, he's fundamentally sound as you are too. But at least, who are some of the fighters that you looked up to growing up, and who influenced you, pretty much?
Yeah, I think, myself and even my whole family, we're a bunch of little knuckleheads for sure. So when I was little, I was always kind of an aggressive fighter. I always wanted to get in there and punch a lot. But having, 12 plus years training under my dad, he kind of scolded me just to make sure I'd be more defensive. He's up there, my father, he's worried that I'm getting punched and stuff. So he's definitely worried that I might get hurt or something. But I promise that's not the case for me. Yeah. A little too good for that, but definitely, just back to the fundamentals, and I would say even for the most part, just my style is just basics, nothing fancy. Have strong punches.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice. Now, Steve mentioned earlier that you got your degree from San Diego State. Talk to us a little bit about that, having to juggle boxing and school, because I know school itself can be a full-time job, and just, you know, being in that culture of studying, I mean, it's a lot, and being able to box at the same time. Talk to us how you were able to manage all that.
Yeah, I mean, as I got older, after I graduated high school, I started being a little bit more rebellious with my father and in the coaching stuff, a little frustration there, and trying to go to school and boxing at the same time. So I think when I turned around 18 years old, I took 2 years off to go to community college. And for those 2 years, you know, I was just trying to focus on my school, really learn what I wanted to do and stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't until after that where, you know, my father was talking to me, the Olympic trial qualifiers were coming up for the 2012 Olympics, I believe. And they were hosting, I think, like 3 or 4 tournaments for, you know, people who were trying to qualify for the Olympics. You know, it's definitely something that interested me, and my dad was just kind of sharing that with me, and I definitely wanted to make a little run for it. I think we started training for like 3 months after like a 2-year break.
Yeah.
Where we just kind of got back there, and that's the same time actually where I helped Canelo Alvarez with his fight with Miguel Cotto, right? Yeah. And you know, after that time, when I got back in the ring, we went to Tennessee to fight at the Olympic trial qualifiers. I think we made it to like the quarterfinals or something like that, and you know, we made it a couple days. So it was, you know, after 3 months, you know, and going to this big national tournament, it was definitely a surprise for us to see, you know, that we can win a couple and make it, you know, with all this good competition. After that, you know, my father was crying. I remember that after I lost, because he thought I was gonna go back to school and maybe like stop boxing, but you know, that kind of reignited the passion for me. Kind of started, you know, right after that we went pro. And it's definitely been difficult, just kind of go to school every day and, you know, trying to box and be like in actual shape. And definitely a couple fights kind of fell through because I had tests coming up or anything, you know, where I'd have to fall through in any kind of fight. But, you know, after that, I think after that, you know, trying to get an actual career, you know, I started with KPMG, public accounting firm, best firm you ever see. But going to work full time is different from school, I feel, as far as what I do, just because, I mean, I don't mind putting the extra time, you know, go 8 hours a day at work and then coming after to train and work out. It's just that, you know, finding an actual time to prepare for a fight, you know, where you have a week where you're just drained, you get to, you know, prepare for a fight, lose weight and all that. It's hard for me to find time in that kind of sense. It's easy to work out and stuff and continue to, you know, be in shape, but just to find that actual moment to where you have to really go all out, it's kind of been a little bit difficult. But definitely something I'm trying to do and learning as I go on, I guess.
You know, there's a lot of father-son duels in boxing, you know. But I wouldn't say you guys are like Angel and Danny Garcia, because you guys aren't that crazy. Your dad's not that crazy. No, you guys are more disciplined. I always respected that about you guys. You know, more like Shane Mosley and his father back in the day. But you come from a family full of fighters and law enforcement officers. Everyone from your father, uncle, brother Emmanuel, and even your aunt. Your aunt, from what I understand, is the best fighter in the family, man. No disrespect to you or your father or your uncle, but I heard your aunt really gets down in the boxing ring, bro. But virtually everyone in your lineage has laced up the gloves. How did growing up in that environment prepare you for this point of your career?
No, that's my Thea Arlene. You know, shout out to my Thea right there. She's done quite well for herself in her boxing career in the past. You know, I remember growing up, my dad was her coach, his brother and sister duo right there, and they would just, I mean, like I said, a couple knuckleheads, always fighting. That's what I remember for sure, butting heads. But, you know, I definitely benefited so much from my family, just as far as, you know, my tias, my dad, my brothers, they've all done it. And they've kind of learned on their way, you know, just from them doing the sport. My dad, you know, coaching my tia, coaching my brothers. I benefited so much just of, you know, the trial and error kind of going down. And I feel like, you know, I'm kind of like the prime candidate as far as, you know, my family goes, just because they've had so much experience. And by the time they got to me to really train me, they've, you know, got nothing but the best for sure.
Nice. Well, I had a little personal question just to kind of figure out, because I know my punch when I boxed, my favorite punch was the left hook. Talk to us, what's your favorite punch?
No, jab.
The jab.
The jab is for sure.
So,
the jab, you know, it sets the pace to everything. You know, and my dad definitely taught me that, and I have a strong jab, I think. If anything, I think of my personal style, my jab is just my best asset for sure. Nice. It just controls the fight. You know, you can snap it in. You can just kind of, you can put a guy to sleep, just kind of throwing out there, and then you snap it in all of a sudden. It really surprises them. So for sure, the jab.
Nice.
Now, Emmanuel, Elias.
Yeah, that's my brother, man.
Shout out to your brother, Emmanuel. We're getting the E's mixed up here,
Yeah.
the Diaz family. But the list of people, world champions that you sparred with, is pretty impressive, man. Tell us some of those names and what did you learn from sparring with some of those champions?
No, yeah, Canelo Alvarez just part of the biggest name who helped spar. Oscar Valdez for sure as well, and some other like local talent, Chris Martin for sure. And I sparred a lot of people throughout the years. But helping out those people, sparring is a lot different from actually fighting. For me, when I'm sparring, I look a lot different than when I'm actually in the fight in the ring. And sparring is a lot more to help each fighter out. They're both trying to fill each other out. Work on the things they're trying to work on. Canelo, is so fast. You would be surprised how fast he is in the ring. But for real, that was the biggest takeaway I went after sparring with Canelo. And Oscar Valdez, a little older, a couple years old, where I got to be in the ring with him. But I remember he was really strong. And both those times, I feel like I was a lot younger. I'm a little bit of a late bloomer for sure. So I think at those times I definitely wasn't as experienced or really had that ring, intelligence to really fill them out. But definitely great experiences overall for sure.
Nice. So you have a fight coming up, April 12th. April 12th. Now, what do you have plans set out for that fight? What is the goal for this upcoming fight to show the people?
No, yeah, man. With every fight, we're just trying to step it up a notch. Challenge me a little bit more just to get that experience. And for this next fight, it's gonna be like any other fight. Fundamentals. Really fill out the ring. I hope it lasts a little longer for sure, just to get a little bit of that more ring experience and just kind of fill it out. But with every fight, I can tell in myself that I've learned so much. Going back to my first fight to my last recent fight, it's a huge difference, to me.
Now, Elias, as we look forward to your fight Friday, April 12th, what are your plans boxing-wise for the rest of 2019 and beyond that?
No, I mean, I work for KPMG and I'm trying to be a professional boxer over here, so it's definitely difficult to juggle the two, but I'm trying to find, the right path for myself just to be able to fight consistently. After this fight, I'm hoping to fight again within a month or two, just to, get that consistency going, just have a professional fight after professional fight and get more experience and kind of get that exposure. My goal is just to try to see what I can do, make it in the world and be a world champion for sure.
Well, we mentioned your schooling and your path reminded me of a guy I covered about a decade ago, Juan Diaz. He went to school too. He graduated, with a law degree.
Nice.
So much success to you in your future, and props to you, man, on graduating, on your schooling, and everything that you've accomplished so far in this career.
Sure. Appreciate it.
So there you go, guys. We had our first official boxer guest, Elias Diaz, April 12th. Make sure you guys, it's going to be at the Grand Hotel.
Grand Hotel in Tijuana, yeah.
So if you guys want to go check that out, make sure you guys stay tuned with everything this guy's doing. 4-0, 3 knockouts.
And another one coming April 12th.
And another, yeah, exactly. So thank you guys again for tuning on in. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.